Right now, I'm going through the process of picking out chunks of andesite. I'm gonna do a batch of tumbling. I'm just gonna see how well this material tumbles. And just see how it goes. Got some good material for tumbling, I think. I collected a lot of shards. I made sure to even take the small bits and stuff, because you know what? It's worth trying to see how it goes. So just taking out pieces that similar size, nothing too thin like this where, you know, the edge might get broken or won't burn too much. If you have a lot of those thin pieces, you could probably do those thin pieces together, or what you could do is, if you have a piece like, let's see if I have a good example of this guy's kind of thin. If you have a thin piece like this that's kind of long, then what you could do is actually split it in half to try and avoid the breaking in the middle, because the longer the piece is, yeah, this is a great example. The longer a thin piece is, the more likely chance of it snapping during the process. And the shorter it is, the harder it is to snap. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to snap or chip, so you got to be careful with the pieces that you choose. But I'm trying to go for a thickness of a minimal thickness of about a centimeter, maybe a bit over a centimeter at least. Trying to keep the thickness the same on most of my pieces. And I am going to do this guy. Also, sharp bits. You don't want pokey, like sharp bits like this when looking for good tumbling material. So we'll have to gotta make sure to avoid those as well. Let's see. That's a little too thin. That one's good. Not bad. Just kind of take your pieces, throw them in there, and I think feldspar is a little on the softer side than it's like a Mohs hardness of like a 5, I believe. So I'm going to I'm gonna do 5 days on the first stage and see how it looks. If I want to do it a little more, then I'll do a 1 or 2 more days of the first stage, and then I'll go probably 7 days second stage, 7 days fifth stage, and we'll just see from there. So this is what the material looks like after stage 1. There's a couple nice pieces, like nice blues and stuff. Some of the nice darker blue material, but so far it's going okay. Not a lot of cracks and fractures forming, which is great. There are a couple pieces that do have some fractures and stuff, but that's unavoidable. Like some of these also just have the fractures in them already, but so far the material looks pretty good. Some of it's got some really nice color to it. So we're done the second stage. There's not a lot of difference between the first and the second stage, just besides that the second stage kind of just smooths out the roughness that it can't be gotten rid of in the second stage, or the first stage, sorry. Some of this material is holding up pretty well, but as expected, some of it is feldspar, so it has these interesting fractures, cleavages that will occur. There's some fractures have formed now that could have also been there already at the beginning. But there's some good colored pieces in this batch. Some nice ones. It's hard to see. I'm in the outside in the sun, so I don't know if it's focusing properly. So I'll see once I edit it. I'll show you guys the end of the third stage, and of course the end of the fourth stage.
So this is what the third stage looks like. It's got a nice satin finish. I need to clean these guys up still a little bit because some of these have some fractures and stuff, and it looks like some of the third stage material got into like the edges of those fractures, so I need to make sure those are nice and cleaned up. But yeah, it's looking good. Some of these pieces actually have some really nice kind of like schiller effect, like silver schiller effect, almost similar to some of the stuff you see in like Peristirite, but it's not Peristirite, it's Amazonite, so that's kind of cool that some of these pieces have that look, but it's looking good so far. I think I'm hoping it'll polish up well. I think it will, but I could be wrong, but I'm hoping it will. I got to give these guys one more just a brush off to make sure that there's no extra residue left over from the third stage, and then I'll get them into the fourth stage. I have finally finished tumbling the Amazonite that I threw my tumbler like a month ago. I'm actually pretty impressed. It polished pretty well. At first, after the polishing stage, they didn't look too impressive, and you can see some of the stuff has got some fracturing in it, and there were a couple pieces that actually broke just in the polishing stage itself. But the higher quality, more solid pieces did very well. And before this, before I did the buffing stage, where I just added a bit of dish soap and tumbled them for one extra day to kind of clean them off, they weren't looking too impressive. But after the buffing stage, they look really good. I'll just show you a couple examples, some up close examples, and just kind of talk about them. So yeah, this Amazonite is really nice. It's a perthitic Amazonite, so that means I've mentioned it before in my actual collecting video. I'll put the link in the description to that if you haven't seen that. That the striping is two different types of feldspar. So Amazonite is a type of microcline, if I remember correctly. I'll correct myself above if I wasn't correct. And the white is just a regular white microcline feldspar. And so these feldspars intergrew, and you get like this stripe thing. And it's cool. Some of this Amazonite, actually, if you look at it the right way, you get this silver shine to it. Kind of like this silver argillescence. Or schiller effect. I don't know if it's actually technically argillescence. But some of this is a really nice light blue, and it's nice kind of gemmy material compared to like places like the barrel pit, where the stuff seems to be a little more opaque. But I am very much impressed by this stuff. Got some pieces with some darker blues in it. Yeah, just in general, very happy. And what I'll actually do at the end of this video is just do like a silent showcase with just some music over the top, and just show you some of the cooler pieces. I don't have, I should get one of those round rotating tables like Ragnar Rocks. He's got this cool setup where he does like this round rotating table, and you get a pretty good view, and then you don't get finger marks on the shiny stones. If you like these types of videos, like rock hounding related or even arrowhead hunting related videos, I do those types of videos. And if you haven't already thought of subscribing, please do subscribe and also like the video if you haven't done that. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.